Y'all, that pic you just saw flash on the screen is one of the pics I will be sharing with you in this video for my workout update. I just wanted to give you a preview of what's to come. All right, y'all. Peace out. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Sharifa, and my poetry name is New Lily. If you're new to my channel, please check out the links located in the description box and comment section. And in both locations, you'll find an identical set of links that lead to videos that talk about what started my targeting in 2020, as well as links that lead to videos that share information about the targeted individual program. Information about the tactics used on targets, information about the technology used on targets, and information about the program in general, y'all. I know the intro sounds redundant, y'all, and I always say this redundant, and I always say the same repetitive thing. But as I've explained in prior videos, I do that for clarity because new people visit my page all the time, and that's how most YouTube channels are. You know, somebody might stumble across your channel for the first time. And so just in case this happens to be the first video for my channel that you come across, I want you to know where those links are. So that's why I do this repetitive intro, y'all, so that if it is someone new that's viewing my channel for the first time, they'll know where to go to hear my story, and also just more information about the targeted individual program, because not everyone is familiar with the program and what a target is, etc. Anyway, y'all, for the last few videos, I've been promising y'all a workout update. And I kept saying I'm going to take a picture or a video. I'm not sure. And, you know, I don't know if I'm going to record myself doing a workout. It's the last workout update I posted, y'all. Let me go over to YouTube.
Woke up this morning.
It's quite a ways down, y'all. Not that far down, but it was like 5 months ago, something like that. It was 7 months ago. Yeah, you see, it says 7 months ago. So those are the last workout updates I posted with me on camera. So I was actually in action doing workouts for that update. This update's a little bit different. I did take some pictures. I didn't take a video. I didn't record myself working out. As you all know, I'm in a new gym. So I was still just trying to get acclimated with the environment and setting things up. And so I didn't take any videos. But I did take a picture of my gains, y'all, because I have gained a few pounds. I've gained muscle mass since recovering from my injury. And if y'all have been keeping up with my videos, you know I got an injury about 2 to 3 months ago. Let me see, to give you an exact timeline. Those of y'all that have been keeping up, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, 3 months ago. You can see it says health scare. If you want to hear the story behind that, you can check out that video. Anyway, y'all, since recovering from my injury, I've been going heavier, as I told you all. And just kind of slowly but surely working my way back to the type of weight I used to lift and squat. I'm being a lot more careful now. Now that I had that scare, that health scare, and I learned some of the things that I learned about organ prolapse and hernias, etc., which I don't have either, y'all. Thank God. But I still learned a lot of info about the dangers of intra-abdominal pressure and heavy lifting excessively. So I've been careful. I'm not even doing deadlifts anymore, y'all. You know, you can see in this video I was deadlifting 300 pounds. Those days are over. I'm still like lifting heavy weight and stuff, but I'm doing it selectively and carefully. And if I am going to put pressure on my body, I'd rather it be via squatting or something more functional. Deadlifting is functional, but it's, like I said, it's a compound movement. Squatting is too, but it's a compound movement that puts an excessive amount of pressure on the abdominal cavity and the spine. And, you know, one wrong move when you're lifting heavy like that, or one improper lift, and that could be it. Something could drop, an organ could drop. You could pop, you know, a gut could pop out, you know, not a gut, excuse me. Your intestines could pop out, so a hernia. I'm being careful now, y'all. Anyway, so I've gotten back to, I said this in prior videos, I've gotten back to squatting similar to the weight I was squatting before. I'm all the way up to 205 pounds. And just keeping up with myself. I changed my diet, as you all know. I'm eating healthy. I'm intermittent fasting. There are cheat days, more than I would like to be happening. I'm not going to lie. I've been having quite a few cheat days recently, y'all. But I've been doing a lot better, eating healthy. And intermittent fasting. And so these things have actually paid off. And intermittent fasting, y'all have talked about this in prior videos. It releases growth hormone when you intermittent fast, if you do it the right way, as well as healing the body and cellular cleanup, etc. So that's happening. I'm supplementing with vitamins, eating healthier, like I said, and then I'm sprinting again. And sprints, I've talked about this in prior videos as well, y'all. If you're not familiar with the workout, you can look it up. I'm not trying to go into too deep of, I'm not trying to go into detail about that right now, right? But sprinting's really good. And it also increases growth hormone. It releases, I believe they said like 500% or something like that, some huge percentage of growth hormone when you do sprinting. So you can do sprinting in different ways. You can do it via running, like how I was doing before my injury. You can do it on the bike, cycling. You can do it swimming. So there are different ways you can do it. And cycling is safer if you're concerned with intra-abdominal pressure, because running also puts a lot of pressure on your abdomen and your pelvis, etc. Which if you're healthy and you're keeping up with yourself, that's not a problem. But if you're someone like me who is fearful of injury and you're recovering from an injury, or you recovered from an injury and, you're fearful of, pressure, intra-abdominal pressure, using the bike and cycling is a safer option, and you still get the same results. You still get that release of growth hormone. So it's basically just doing an activity with all of your might, all the force in your body for a few seconds, so about 20-second intervals. So like, for instance, y'all, hold on. The supervisor, I believe, is out there, or somebody. Hold on a second, y'all. I'm at work. Okay, all right. CHB 880. Sorry about the pause, y'all. Like I said, I'm at work, so I had to. Typically, no one comes in the gate at this hour unless it's like the supervisor or, some police officers pulling up. But rarely, on rare occasions, you do have like a worker come in at this hour. So that was a worker, y'all. I thought it was a supervisor. Anyway, so let me finish with what I was saying, though. So it's just, like I said, if you want to look up the workout, you can. I've talked about it in prior videos. I'm not trying to go into detail in this video. I'm talking about it a little bit, but I'm not trying to give you I'm trying to give you a summary of what it is. Anyway, so it's basically just doing a workout in intervals with all your might. So like, for instance, running, you have a distance that you're going to run. It depends on how fast you can do it. Typically it takes about 20 seconds to run 100 meters, and that's about how long you need to do the workout for. So you'll run as hard and as fast as you can for 20 seconds, and then you catch your breath for a minute. And you do that 8 times. That sounds simple. I implore you to try it, y'all. Do it 2 times and you'll see how winded you are. And if you're not in shape, yeah. I thought it was easy when I learned about it initially. I was looking at it online and I saw people doing it, and I was like, oh, okay, running for 20 seconds, 8 times, that's easy. And then when I started to do it, and I'm in shape, y'all, I was like panting, and yeah. So it took me a while to get conditioned and able to do the 8 consecutive sprints back to back. It's not easy, y'all. It's intense. It's high intensity. It's like a short burst of a workout, but it's effective. It's even more effective than jogging for 20 minutes. It's extremely effective, and it releases growth hormone. And if you're trying to build your leg muscles, it activates what's called fast twitch muscle fibers. So you have a bunch of muscles in your legs, y'all, and you have slow twitch muscle fibers and you have fast twitch muscle fibers. And the slow twitch muscle fibers are activated when you do long distance running, like jogging, like what I just mentioned. The fast twitch muscle fibers are activated when you do sprinting. So those quick bursts of, all out force, all out running, that activates the fast twitch muscle fibers, and the fast twitch muscle fibers are a larger group of muscles, y'all. So those are the bigger muscles in your legs. So that's why you'll notice those long distance runners, they're typically lean and their legs are skinny, and you might see some definition in their legs because they are building muscle, but it's lean muscle. And then you'll notice those people that do sprinting, you know, those short distances like Sha'Carri Richardson, etc. You'll notice they have those big, massive legs. That's why. So anyway, it's good for building fast twitch muscle fibers, and it's good for growth hormone release. So I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, y'all. You can look into it further if you'd like. But since the injury, I'm not doing running sprinting anymore. I was. Right before the injury, I had gotten into running sprints, and it was really fun. I discovered I'm actually pretty fast. I didn't even know I was so fast. I did know I was fast from back in the day, but I didn't know I was that fast. But anyway, after the injury, like I told you all, I've been concerned with intra-abdominal pressure. So I found a replacement workout where I can do my sprints and less intra-abdominal pressure. So I'm going on the bike and doing the sprinting. And it's been working out. So all of these things, I believe, has attributed to the weight gain. I haven't gained much weight from these videos you see on the screen, y'all. But I have gained, you know, some weight, like 3 pounds. It's basically just muscle mass, though. That's what's cool. So in these videos on the screen, I was 175, and right now I'm 178, y'all. And I'm rounding. My scale measures by kg, right? Kilograms rather than pounds. So my scale is saying 80.55 kg, which equates to 177.582 pounds. So obviously you round up, 178 pounds is how much I weigh. So I gained 3 pounds of muscle mass, y'all. So that's been pretty cool. And I noticed that I just started wearing short pants because I was not doing that before, y'all. That's a relatively new development, which you're going to see the pictures I'm about to show you. I just started wearing short pants. Before I was wearing leggings. But still, I noticed I was looking fuller when I looked in the mirror. I did notice I was looking a little bit fuller. And then when I put the short pants on, that was where I really was able to see the development of my legs, because I have high quad insertions, y'all. You know, you have different genetics and different body types and muscle bellies, etc. Some people have longer muscle bellies. Some people have shorter muscle bellies. Typically, people that are shorter have shorter muscle bellies, so it doesn't take long for them to fill out and look full and muscular. And typically, people that are longer, like me, have longer limbs. We have longer muscle bellies, so it takes more work to look full. So I have longer muscle bellies, and then in the case of my legs, I have high quad insertions, so the muscle is higher up in my leg. So if I don't wear short pants, you don't really see the development in my legs as much. You can see that I'm toned and stuff, but it's almost like a sleeper build. If y'all are familiar with what that is, you can look it up if you're not. It's almost like a sleeper build. And then when I put on the short pants, you can see that something's going on. So anyway, that's what this video is, y'all. It's just a workout update. I told y'all I was going to give you an update on what I'm looking like. I wasn't sure if I was going to make a video, like these videos you see on the screen that I made 7 months ago, or if I was just going to take a picture. And so I decided to just take pictures, y'all. I took a few pictures. And I just wanted to show you my results, let you see what I'm looking like now. I've gained 3 pounds, like I said, from these videos of just straight muscle mass. And so it's cool. Just giving you an update. So I put a story up, y'all, on my Facebook. It just expired, actually. Literally, like a few minutes ago, it expired. But I put it in my highlights. These are old videos, y'all, and pictures. Not super old, like within the last 2 years, but still old compared to what's going on now. Because remember, if you'll recall, in my last video, I was talking about the fact that I lost a decent amount of weight when I stopped working as a corrections officer. I think it was around March of last year, something like that. Whenever you saw those videos posted that I just showed you, sorry, I didn't mean to pause on that I just showed you on YouTube, those videos where, like what you see on the screen, these workout videos that I was just showing you on YouTube. Around that time, I lost a lot of weight because I was no longer able to access the cafeteria food, and I wasn't eating as much food, and I have a fast metabolism. So naturally, the bulk session that I had going on naturally subsided. And so I kind of went down to what my normal weight would be, and still not. I still weigh more than I typically would, but not nowhere near as much weight as I had on me. I'm sorry for the stammering, y'all. I'm tired. I'm at work. I'm sorry. Anyway, no, I did lose a lot of weight from when I was a corrections officer, but still nowhere near as skinny as I typically am, if that makes sense. I'm not a super skinny person. I'm not the ectomorph body type, y'all. I've talked about this in prior videos. You have 3 different body types. You have the mesomorph, which is the body type that I mainly have, which is the muscular build, and you can gain weight easily or lose weight easily. You have the endomorph, which is the heavier body type, where you have a slower metabolism, and typically those are the people that have more meat on them. Their bones are more dense. They're typically the strongest people in the world. They're very strong. And then you have the ectomorphs. And those are the people that have the super fast metabolism. They're really skinny. It's hard for them to gain muscle. They have to have a specific diet plan to gain muscle. It's possible. And they have some really nice physiques, when aesthetically pleasing physiques when they get it together. But it's a lot more difficult for them, especially in the beginning. Like I said, y'all, I'm a mesomorph. I have the medium body type, but you can be a mix of body types. And I'm a mix. I'm a mix of mesomorph and ectomorph. So that's why I've had struggle with gait. Like, it's like I'm naturally muscular. Even when I don't work out, I have muscle tone. But like getting that full look is difficult. It has been difficult getting that full look. And then, like I told you, I have the longer muscle bellies, etc. Typically, people that are taller are ectomorphs or have some sort of mix of that body type within them. Anyway, y'all, so when I stopped working as a corrections officer, like I said at the beginning of last year, around the time when this video was taken, that was when I lost all that weight that I had gained. And it wasn't healthy weight anyway. I talked about this in one of the last videos I posted, y'all. I wasn't eating healthy, and at a certain point I stopped focusing on health, and I was more so focused on the aesthetic, and I was doing a lot of cow milk and inflammatory things, y'all. Oh, by the way, I said the wrong thing. Speaking of that, in one of these recent videos I was talking about finding out that I have fibroids. I only have 2, y'all. It's not bad. It's minor. One is small, one is medium sized. The doctor didn't even say that I had to do anything other than monitor it, but I'm working on shrinking it. That's largely why the diet change happened because of the injury. But then when I learned that I had fibroids, when they did, the ultrasound, if you've been keeping up my videos, you know what I'm talking about, y'all. When they did the ultrasound and, just checking the area to make sure I didn't have a hernia or organ prolapse, that was when the doctor said that I have 2 fibroids, which is common, y'all, amongst females. They said somewhere between 70 to 80% of all females have fibroids or will have fibroids in their life. It's just, how bad is it? Some women have it so bad that they're hemorrhaging when they have their period. They look pregnant. They're, dealing with physical symptoms. And then most women are like me, where we're asymptomatic and we don't know unless we find out by accident. I'm not completely asymptomatic, y'all. I have heavy menstrual bleeding. And I think I'm anemic or something similar, because I do suffer with exhaustion. So I do have some symptoms, right? But that's it. I don't have any of the other symptoms, and I really didn't even know I had fibroids. Nonetheless, y'all, so I did the diet change due to the injury, and then I've stuck with it more adamantly because of the fibroids and wanting to shrink them. And I was planning to change my diet anyways, y'all. This is it's a mouthful, but I've been saying this. I'm into holistic health and natural healing, and I know a lot of stuff, and I've known since my early 20s. But like I said, last year when I was in that bulking phase, I stopped caring about health, and I was more so focused on filling out and the aesthetic. Like I told you all, it's harder to fill out when you have my body type. And I just was doing a lot of unhealthy activity. I had an unhealthy diet. I was eating not whatever. Like, there's certain foods I just won't eat. I don't eat pork. I try not to eat scavengers. I slip up and eat shrimp sometimes, but I eat relatively healthy even when I'm eating unhealthy, if that makes sense. But processed foods like fried chicken and milk, and not even organic cow milk. I explained in one of the prior videos, that's what I was saying before I went off on the tangent. Cow milk is inflammatory, especially if it's not raw organic cow milk. And I said the wrong thing in one of these videos. I was explaining the difference between goat milk and cow milk. And I was saying that cow milk has a protein in it that's hard to digest. And I was saying it's the A2 protein. That's incorrect. It's the A1 protein. Goat milk has the A2 protein, which is similar to human breast milk. And so that's why it's easier on the digestive system. And they recommend, if you are going to do dairy or milk, you should do goat milk. It's an acquired taste. Like, if you taste goat milk for the first time, you likely won't like it. It does taste different, but it's an acquired taste. So anyways, I was doing a bunch of cow milk, inflammatory stuff, and, whatever else I was doing back then, eating whatever, processed foods. And I believe that's what led to the fibroids developing. or at least growing, because one is medium sized, one is small, and one is the size of a lime, I believe, or a lemon, which is considered medium sized. One is the size of a walnut, the small one, and the one is the size of a lemon or a lime, the medium sized one. And I believe that's what attributed to the growth and or development of the fibroid / fibroids. So anyways, y'all, when I stopped working as a corrections officer, sorry, I'm trying to keep this paused, y'all. When I stopped working as a corrections officer, I lost all that weight that I had gained. I was 192 pounds, which is absolutely unnatural. For me, that's just not, I was looking nice and full, but it was unhealthy. It wasn't healthy. And I had I slightly had a double chin, and no. So when I stopped eating as much, I dropped down to the 175, what you see in this video and the videos I just showed you on YouTube. And so now, since eating healthier and, the different lifestyle changes I made, I've actually gained muscle mass. I've gained 3 pounds, and it's muscle mass. So that's what I'm about to show you now, y'all. This picture I just put up on Facebook yesterday. I took the picture yesterday or day before yesterday. I took it yesterday. Yeah, so I just took a few pictures, y'all. I only put one of them up on Facebook. I'm going to show you the other pictures I took. It's in my album. And just let you see, like I said, it's not drastic, but I do look a little bit more full, and it's muscle mass. Here it is, y'all. So as you can see, usually I said consistency on the screen. You can see how my legs look, right? So I've gained muscle mass, and it's just from changing my diet, doing things to increase growth hormone, eating more protein, tracking calories and carbs, because I kind of used to just play the guessing game. So just like small lifestyle changes, and it's made a difference. And so I'm seeing results. And so that's where I'm at now, y'all. Okay, so that's that one, yeah, right? And that's what I put on Facebook. But I also took a few other pictures that I did not post. I wasn't sure about them. I didn't know if I liked them or not, y'all. That's what it was. I took this one, right? This is more so me. You can't really see my body in this like that, right? There's this one. There's this one where I took a picture of my legs and the side by side of myself. And that's it, y'all. That's pretty much it. This is the same picture you just saw on Facebook. This is it where I'm zoomed out, right? And it's further away, right? So you can see the results that I'm getting. So good stuff, y'all. I'm excited. I'm getting results finally. I don't want to say finally because I've been getting results, And like I said, that time where I was eating unhealthy and I was 192 pounds, I was stacked, y'all. I was filled out, but it was just not healthy. It wasn't healthy. So now I'm like gaining muscle mass in a healthy way, and I think it looks better and I feel better. And so just exciting. So this is a positive update, y'all, on my progress and where I'm at now in my workout journey. I kept saying I was going to post a video, and instead I was posting all these controversial videos due to the targeting, reactive abuse. So this is a positive video of what I look like now. More to come, y'all. There will probably be a video, like an actual, like how you saw those videos with me actually working out. I might take a video of me doing a workout, or just a video of how I'm looking rather than just pictures. But this is something, right? And also on my community page, I posted some pictures too if y'all are interested in checking it out. I did post some of these pictures, these same pictures on my community page, so you can see it. All right, y'all. That's it. That's the update. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace out. Y'all, I forgot to mention, I do have an interview on Monday with the Department of Education. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm not getting my hopes up, y'all. I'm not trying to be negative, But y'all, if you've been keeping up with my channel, you know how some things have gone down for me, right? These last few years as a target. So, I don't know what's going to happen or how it's going to go. Typically in the past, prior to the targeting, these type of interviews would go well for me and I would get the job. But things are different now. I'm targeted, and sensitization and trauma and, whatever else is going on. I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm not really nervous about the interview itself, like the questions and how I'm going to answer. I'm more so just nervous about my body and how I'm going to react to being watched on camera while I'm being interviewed. It's just a strange reality, y'all, when you're targeted. It's like the interview is going to be watched by the whole island, I'm sure. It's like the Truman Show. And so I'm like, am I going to be able to focus on the questions being asked and answer to the best of my ability? Am I going to be shaking and acting nervous? Like, these are the things going through my head. I'm not going to lie. I'm being honest. I'm not trying to be negative, a negative Betty, but but anyways, I'm ready. I've done this before. I can do this. I know I can do this. But the interview's on Monday, y'all, so I'll keep you posted on how it goes. But I've made some progress. I have an interview, so we'll see what happens, right? All right, I'll keep you updated. Peace out.